What's up, guys? Welcome to the Socialist. I'm your girl Shamika Latrice, and I'm just coming to you guys really quickly with a little bit of OT. It's regular tea. It's what's going viral right now at this present time. What everyone's talking about, and that is, of course, the video that was most recently seen where Puff Daddy, P Diddy, Love, Sean Combs, was assaulting his ex girlfriend Cassie in a hotel lobby. So no, I know many people saw that. One of the things that I would say I found to be kind of weird was the amount of victim blaming from some of the commenters. Like, it's insane to me. What it also tells me is that there are a lot of men that are out here abusing women. So there's still so many victims. Because when you think about it, if you have females in your family and you love them, it should be something very triggering in that video, seeing a man that is assaulting a woman who's trying to leave. She wasn't fighting back, she wasn't arguing, she was leaving. And if that doesn't bother you, then it says more about you than it does Cassie. Okay, obviously. So I'm going to show the video. I just want to give a little trigger warning because obviously it's a lot to watch. It's also a lot to watch because it's disappointing. It's disappointing to know that this is someone that many of us grew up to. Historically, he has been an influence in our entertainment world, a big name, a big movement in entertainment for years. And we was almost hoping that some of the allegations was incorrect. However, I will say this. I knew that what Cassie said was not a lie because I was able to finally read the affidavit when it was out. And the affidavit was very detailed about all of her experiences and the things that she went through. And when that video came out, I automatically knew everything that ensued at that time because it said it in the affidavit. So I was also questioning, how did someone even find the video? Because I understood, according to the affidavit, that someone was paid $50,000 in order to ensure that the video is never seen. So I was questioning how she got it or how they were able to air that. But I did learn most recently, according to People's Magazine, is that she was able to acquire a copy of the video even at that time. And I think what happened when the people from the hotel saw the altercation in the hallway, they felt a certain way about Puff. They might not have said anything. And of course, if you don't have the $50,000 and someone coming to offer that to you, you may take it, right? But in reality, they felt away. And so they did inadvertently give her a copy of that tape. So I don't know if that's actually how we see it now, but they gave a copy of that. Now, let me just say this too, because she was able to successfully win that lawsuit of $30 million. It was settled within 24 hours. And one of the things that I find very disturbing with Puff is his confidence in this situation right now. He still he still felt very confident. And before she won after she won that lawsuit, he went immediately into, I just did it because I still love her. I want to go over her, her life. I want her to be happy. And then his lawyer puts out a statement like, the settlement don't mean guilt, what I'm saying, etc. Which later on we kind of then found out that, he just be trying to paint a narrative. And I guess Cassie was like, I'm gonna show people who he really is. And then he put up a picture that said on his Instagram, "Time will tell," something similar to that. I'm paraphrasing. And right after that, we then saw the video and the altercation that happened in the hotel. So I'm going to go ahead and show that video. Again, I just want to give a quick trigger warning for those that may have not seen it yet. It is abuse that's happening in the video. Okay, so just want to kind of give you guys a quick little heads up about that. So let me let you guys take a look at that, and then we're going to talk about the incident.
Exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs assaulting his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video. There is no audio. According to the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye, which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura.
So basically, that if you guys got an opportunity to read the affidavit basically tells all of that in the affidavit of what happened to her. So I'm assuming that they must have put that out when she kept, because if you go to Cassie's page on her Instagram a couple weeks back when this first happened, there was a lot of victim blaming. She was getting a lot of negative comments, etc. It was so sad that she was experiencing that just for being brave enough to come and say, this is what this person had done to me for many years. And so, he then put out Tom Would Tell and do all those different things, just kind of continuing to paint that narrative that Cassie was a gold digger and these allegations was incorrect. And I'm assuming that's why the video was then released, because in reality, he can't be held accountable, unfortunately, for the things that he did in that video, because the time has reached his, the statute of limitation for that particular incident. So it wasn't like it could do anything. It just was for, embarrassing purposes, like to embarrass him, I guess, or to just basically show that he's not who he say he is. He's somebody completely different in the spotlight. Though even though I would say this, Puff Daddy got his whole character comes off as arrogant. I would have never even guessed that he wasn't. Like, it was not shocking to me to find out that he was abusive. I just didn't know that he was like he would grab her and he was actually throwing vases at her at some point. Like, how do you see somebody scared of you from hitting her and not doing anything to you at that moment, but you're still hitting her and throwing stuff and beating on her? It was crazy. But nonetheless, after that video was released and everybody was basically responding to it, from DL Hughley to Cedric the Entertainer, a lot of different people was responding to that video, and a lot of people were disappointed and seeing that video. They was almost rooting for him and hoping that there was some, not, that there wasn't truth behind what Cassie alleged. But nonetheless, he then issued apology. Here's his apology.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. Had to ask God for His mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
So a lot of people had something to say in relation to that video, but I feel like in this instance, it's not really for me to judge whether or not there was truth behind that. Do I feel like that's a sincere apology? Absolutely not. I feel like that's a response due to the fact that he understands those actions is going to make him lose a lot of things professionally. And of course, it's going to hurt him financially a lot. And so that's probably the reason why he did it. Because I honestly feel like if you're sorry about doing something, because that was one incident that, for many other incidents that happened after that, that never stopped. Because when she finally decided to leave him, he then raped her in her apartment. So to hear him say that he's sorry, it's kind of like, but only God could say what he really feel. I will say that he's probably sorry that he assumed that she was going to be loyal to him, because there's a lot of blonde loyalty to Puff in the industry, as Cassie explained also in the affidavit, which is so funny because Cassie said that. Cassie said there's blonde loyalty in that industry. And so the things that he done, no one talks about it. If you ever notice that there's probably a few celebrities that might come out and say something or give support to Cassie, but it's not that many that give support because he still has loyalty within that industry. A lot of heavy hitters, big names was there at those parties because there's another incident in the affidavit that says that Cassie, excuse me, says that when she was at a party one night, she saw a DJ. She was putting out a song on an album, and she thought that he would be great for the album. So she went and like excited, like, oh look, I found somebody. He's gonna make some music, and that upset Puffy so bad that he beat her real bad that day and at the party inside a bathroom. And she said that she just covered her face to keep him from kicking her in her face. So my question is that if you guys are having this large, extravagant party, at some point you see Cassie in the party looking pretty, networking, meeting people, smiling, and then at some point you either see her being rushed out or you don't see her anymore. Isn't it like a telltale sign? And if a party is like super huge, you mean to tell me that no one's seeing anything Cassie's doing, like anything that's happening? Like he's just that confident? I mean, I understand the music might have been loud, maybe y'all couldn't hear over the music, but I just doubt nobody never saw anything. Okay. And I also noticed that there's some top heavy hitters that utilize social media. I don't see Cassie getting flowers sent to her. I don't see Cassie getting comments underneath her page like, Cassie, I'm sorry that you experienced that. And when I see those things and I see that silence that's coming from some of them heavy hitters and them top brands, it tells me that they also saw some of the things that was happening with Cassie as well. And I think that's what Fifth is referencing, because 50 Cent made reference to that as well. Like, a lot of people are next because ain't no way that you guys didn't see what was going on. And that's going to that's going to hurt their pockets when people find out that their faves are really darker than you think they are. And who you see on camera and who's entertaining you is completely different behind closed doors. I think that soon time will tell. But speaking about blonde loyalty, I'm going to show a video of Cameron on the interview with CNN, and I'm going to give my feedback and what I think that interview was and how it went, and then you guys are welcome to tell me your opinion in the comment section. But hold on, let me let you look at the video.
Thanks for being here. First, when you saw that video of Diddy, Cassie in that hotel, did you recognize that Sean Combs?
What I want to say, first of all, when I seen the video, everything in the video is egregious. I'm against. I don't support all the charges that's alleged against him. I don't support any of that, trafficking minors, domestic violence. I'm totally against it. So when I seen the video, yeah, I was kind of upset with it. Being that I know him, he's not necessarily a friend, but yeah, I was upset when I seen it. But
did you
as far as
recognize
everything
him?
I just said.
Did you recognize that kind of anger at all from your
I don't
experiences?
know him like that. What do you mean? Do I be recognized? Did I recognize him? I seen him. What do you mean my experiences? I seen him and I thought it was disgusting. I didn't do a zoom in to see if it was really him or nothing, but he admitted it was him. So yeah, it was him.
What did you think about the apology that he gave in that other video?
Ain't me for this. The apology ain't for me to decide, for Cassie. What I think about it don't matter. He ain't do nothing to me. Cassie need to ask Cassie if she accept the apology. I told you how I feel. I said what I said.
I want to play a conversation that you had on your podcast back in September with Mace. Listen.
Yeah.
When you had your record deal, why did you take me to Biggie Smalls and not Bad Boy?
Man, it's almost gonna bring me to tears to say this. Being that I saw you as such a good friend, I wanted to put you with somebody I knew with.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. A lot of people ask me that on Instagram, man. Don't have me just out here crying and shit, man. I don't want to get emotional in here, man.
Instantly, I knew Biggie would do right by you.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I mean, is there something known in the industry about how Diddy treated his artists?
So I'm going to get some cheeks after this horsepower joint. I'm just going off what Mace said. Mace took me to Biggie. I don't really know Puffers like Mace know Puff. So I appreciate what Mace said. And of course, that's my brother. So if he felt that way, then he felt that way. I can't really tell you how Puff moves or anything like that. Mace may know better than me because he was signed to Puff. I wasn't. But my show does come on at 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. It's called It Is What It Is. And y'all make sure y'all check it out. I mean, I might get some more information out of Mace from there. But for me to tell you how Puff act and all that, I don't know. I never was signed to him.
Yeah. What about the industry in general? I mean, so many people have pointed out that Diddy couldn't get away with this stuff if there weren't a lot of people protecting him. Do you think that's the case?
Who the talent agent for this joint? Like, you think I'll be sitting around watching what Diddy do and all this? I didn't know this was a Diddy joint that y'all invited me to. Who booked me for this joint?
All right.
Wow, and I'll be sitting around watching Diddy and all that. Yeah,
thanks.
Man, come on, man.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me. You enjoy.
Now, let me just say this. For one is that there's many things and mixed feelings that I get when I see that video, because what it tells me is that Cameron cares more about his street credibility and his image, why he chose that route. Because had he responded to that the way that I think he should have, with someone who has been in the business for decades, being 46 years old at the same time, having children of his child of his own, just many different variables of why I feel that even though he didn't want to really get involved with that, he could have respectfully said, you know what, I'm sorry, I thought I was coming here for something else. You know, I do feel that that's bad, but I really don't want to get into the puffy bashing, et cetera, et cetera. When I see men respond to things like this and really try not to give blind loyalty, because that's why she mentioned that. You giving blind loyalty, because as much as you don't know him, and that's your man's and your friend's man, then if you don't know him and you don't have no relationship with him, then you should have been able to give a non-biased opinion about it. Yes, you did say that you didn't know that, you didn't condone what was happening, but when she was asking other questions, you wasn't responding to it, because in reality, people do want to see those large big names like Puffy being against this. The Swiss Beats, the Jay-Z's, the Beyoncé's, the Meek Mills, the people that Nas, the people that was at that event, those many events. Every time you turn around, there's a picture of Swiss Beats, Alicia Keys, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Cassie, Puffy, like in a photo together. So yes, realistically, everybody wants to know who sees these things. Was it what was alleged in the affidavit about blind loyalty? Did that truly exist? And as much as Cam was trying to make it seem like I'm just this cool hood dude from Harlem, so I don't do all that talking, I don't snitch, I felt like he was really just trying to appease the hood. And then he gonna say, yo, who's responsible for this joint? Imagine being on CNN, okay, in front of a black journalist, not realizing the struggles that we go through as educated women to be seen. And obviously who organized it was probably the white heads behind it, right? Because that's who organized things. They allow us to speak to us and talk to us because we can communicate with each other. But meanwhile, as you trying to be blindly loyal to the hood and to Puff, you were actually disrespecting a woman. But that's a black woman. That's always the narrative with our men in our community. It's actually kind of weird, to be honest, because if there's somebody and you don't condone certain things, you could have easily gave your opinion. But then my thing is that why would you be on CNN to promote some of the things that you got going on, or drinking juice and saying I'm getting ready to go get some cheeks? Because you wanted people to laugh at that. You wanted that to be on the shade room. You wanted it to look a certain way. You care more about credibility and street credibility than you do your own reputation or your own livelihood and getting other opportunities elsewhere. Now, no one said that you needed to go on there and bash Puff. You could have respectfully said, I'm sorry, I thought that I was coming on for XYZ. But my thing is, you started to ask them, why, who set this joint up? And da, da, da. You didn't know why you was going on CNN before you got on CNN? That sounds insane to me. You didn't say to them, okay, no problem, I'll be able to come on CNN, what we're going to be talking about. They didn't give you that heads up. As long as you've been in the industry, they didn't tell you that. Like when y'all see certain things, y'all got to realize that y'all got to see through all of Maybelline. That whole Cam's shenanigans, I just think that it was just blatantly disrespectful to the black woman that was there, and it was just ignorance on his part. At 46 years old, you gotta be kidding me, like for real. And again, like it says in the affidavit, everybody has blind loyalty to Puff, including Cameron. That's why he behaved that way. And a lot of black men in our community, and a lot of men alike, are out here beating on women. That is the reason why their comments underneath Cassie's page was victim blaming. That's the reason why a lot of people are still victim blaming. A lot of men are still victim blaming because they are the abusers. There's a lot of women who are who is in silence right now and not talking are because they're being abused. There's a lot of women every single day that is dying by the hands of men that are being abused. What Cassie did was very admirable. And despite it, and the only reason why she was able to win such a big and a large amount, or the reason why she's not dead, is because the person she's involved with just so happened to be a mogul. But had she kept dating him or staying with him, that could have well been her livelihood as well. Just like Nicole Simpson. Okay, so at the end of the day, she did what needed to be done, got out of there and sued when she was safe, and she waited 4 years later to do it. So for those men that are looking at Puff as a victim, despite having that in front of your face and seeing what he had done to her, and all the things that she said he had done to her, then it tells us more about you than it would ever say about Cassie. And it also tells me that you are only in support of Puff because you're doing the same damn things, which makes sense to the video that I seen a long time ago of Puff Daddy basically responding to when Ellen asked him why was he still allowing um, Chris Brown to go to those parties. And at that time, Chris was 19. So I understand him being forgiving because at 19 years old, you make mistakes, unfortunately, large mistakes. And so, but he's still paying for it, unfortunately. But now when he was asked, this 39-year-old man at the time was asked about that incident, he basically said, it's always two sides to every story. So I don't want to really, judge. You know why he was saying that? Because at that time, he was beating up on Cassie. At that time, he was beating up on Cassie, so he could relate. And so that's why he didn't want to respond to it. Let me just say this. I don't feel sorry for Puff Daddy, not one bit. Not one bit. Because imagine every day, every single day, 50 Cent is posted. Matter of fact, 50 Cent just sold a documentary about Puff to Netflix. So imagine that. Every day, Puff Daddy, 50 Cent is almost antagonizing him. You didn't have Miami hold a gun for you and chase 50 down in LA where you might have thought he was, because you know better. And I'm sure you could find and be in certain places that 50 be in. I'm sure you can. You're not doing that. You don't have that. He don't have that same energy for men that he had for Cassie, which is so weird to me. And it's also weird that any of y'all men is supporting that, especially those that might have daughters themselves. If you're supporting that shenanigans that Puff did, you got daughters yourself, all because he at one time was an influencer and made good music and has a history. If you're supporting that, that is shame on you. Shame on you. I could get into a tangent on that, so let me just relax. But anyway, I just wanted to come really quickly, guys, and talk about that and hear what your opinions are in relation to the whole Puff Daddy thing. Do you think that Puff is genuinely sorry and what happened? But here's what Cassie had to say about that apology before I close it out. I just want to mention really quickly what Cassie had to say about his apology. So first off, she just wanted to say thank you for all of the love and support from my family, friends, strangers, and those I have yet to meet. The outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now. But this is only the beginning. Domestic violence is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I am better today, but I will always be recovering from my past. Thank you to everyone that has taken the time to take this matter seriously. My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing the victim the first time. It takes a lot of heart to tell the truth out of a situation that you were powerless in. I offer my hand to those that are still living in fear. Reach out to your people. Don't cut them off. No one should carry this weight alone. This healing journey is never ending, but this support means everything to me. Thank you. Love always, Cassie. So now Cassie responded and said thank you, and as far as what for everybody for the things that she was going through, but however she did not address his apology. She just ignored it. From what I understand is that neither one of them are allowed to say each other's name publicly. So perhaps maybe that's why he never apologized to Cassie in the video, and or she never responded to his apology in her statement that she left on Instagram. Okay. But nonetheless, let me just say this to anyone who's experiencing domestic violence. Um, if you are and you're able to get out of that silently, and like Cassie said, do not cut off your family. Isolation is one of the things that many abusers use in order to be able to victimize their victims. So don't let your family get cut off. Reach out, open up dialogue, and don't abruptly get up and run. If you can safely do it before they know it, then try to do that, okay? Because domestic violence is serious. And for those of you who are responsible for abusing women, you want to maybe do what Puff Daddy did, and hopefully he's going to do. Excuse me. You want to seek out help because apparently you need a lot of it. Okay. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get off of here. But I want to say thank you again for tuning in and tapping into the Socialist. Make sure you guys are following me on Instagram and on YouTube. And you're welcome to leave your comment in the comment section and let me know what you think in relation to this topic. Do you believe that Puffy's apology is sincere? And if so, or if not, why? And do you believe that Cameron did the right thing, or was it something that he could have done or responded better in relation to that CNN interview? But tell me what you think. Anyway, guys, thank you again for tuning in to The Socialist.